Okay, maybe we can get started. First of all, I wanted to thanks to everyone who have taken their time to join this webinar. So first, please give me a thumbs up if my voice is audible and if my screen is visible. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's get started with the today's agenda. So for today's agenda will be like first we'll be saying what is Zoho FSM and why to choose it, and then we'll be seeing which industry can you make use of Zoho FSM, and then I will be showing you an end-to-end service process of the workflows that we have in FSM, and then we'll be covering few core modules like service and parts module, customer management, and asset management, followed up with a live demo. Then we'll be looking into how Zoho FSM mobile apps looks like, and then at the end we'll be seeing the key benefits of Zoho FSM. So before starting the demo, I wanted to run a poll. So the poll question is like, what is the biggest challenge that you face as a field service management company? Okay, I could see some of you have answered the poll. Okay, so I could see like most of you are facing challenges in poor customer communication, the manual paperwork and billing work you're handling, and the lack of real-time visibility across your team. So these are the more challenges the team is facing. So that's why we are here on today's webinar, where we can see how Zoho FSM can fix all these challenges. Okay, now let's get into the webinar. So okay, so let's first let me first answer your question, like what is Zoho FSM? So as we know, Zoho FSM is a cloud-based field service management platform designed to streamline operations for businesses that sends the technicians to fields. Like when I say field, it might be either installation, maintenance, or repair, etc. So the primary goal of this platform is to not only simplify the field operation but also provide an exceptional service to the customer. So when I say FSM, it has the all features, like it starts from service request to payment. Now let's see why Zoho FSM. So when I say why, so because it manages the entire field service life cycle in one place, like from the request intake, like as soon as a customer calls us and tells us about whether he needs a service or installation, we create a request, then we will schedule a request for them, starting from then assigning a technician, and the technician gets into the customer place, starts the job, and then we'll be raising an invoice followed up with the customer feedback. This is why we prefer FSM, because everything is available in one single platform. Now let's see which industries will get benefited in using Zoho FSM. So the industries like plumbing, electrical services, heating, ventilation, and air conditioner services, water purifiers for industries where for businesses who does solar panel installation, they can also use it. And then we have medical equipment support, IT and hardware support, etc. So now for today's session, we will be focusing on the plumbing services scenarios to demonstrate how the Zoho FSM can make the service operations efficient and trackable. So now I will give a quick walkthrough of the process. So for example, let's think a customer has called us and told us there is a installation that is being required. So for a call, we will be logging a request. So after that, we will be creating an estimate, and that estimate needs to be approved by the customer. And once it has been approved, we will be converting it to a work order, and scheduling it based on the technician's availability. Then we will be assigning the technician, so that the technician will be notified and they can go to the customer's place. And as soon as they get into the customer's place, they can start the work. Like for since we have Zoho FSM mobile app, they can use the mobile app to see what kind of services they have to do. If they are and also there is a feature called job sheet, which means a checklist. So prior to a service or after the service, if certain things has to be checked, the field technician can use the job sheet module to do that. And also we have a time sheet module which will track the time taken to complete a service. So this can be done via mobile app. And then once the service is completed, the technician can raise a service report. When I say service report, it includes the technician feedback along with the photos they have taken in the site of the repair or the installation. And after post service, they will be uploading the photos along with customers' feedback will also be there. And then we will be raising an invoice against the service we have done. And now let's look into a few core modules in FSM. So when I say core modules, these are the primary modules that I see in FSM. So the modules are service and parts, customer management, and asset management. So definitely an organization who does the service will have service and parts, right? So for those, we will be storing that service and parts in the service and parts module in FSM. So you could see here are the existing list of services, and let me confirm if my screen is visible. Okay. Please let me know if you're able to see Zoho FSM screen over here by giving a thumbs up. Okay, so this is how Zoho FSM service and parts module looks like. So in the service and parts, you could see the list of goods. When I say goods, these are the parts. So you could see the existing parts and services, and we have certain basic filters, like we can filter service and parts based on the name, type, SKU. We can also filter based on the advanced filter, which includes the fields, the custom fields that we have created. And then we have a few list of default views, and also we can create custom views based on our necessity. Then here we could see the name of the service and parts, and we can distinguish whether it's a service or a part based on the type field. Then we have the unit price, SKU, etc. So to create a service and part, you have to click on this icon, and you could see if we are going to create a service or part. Let's first create a service. So while creating a service, we have to give a name to the service, give a unit, whether it's in box, hours, or each, or like what is the unit, and then we have to give a unit price followed by SKU and tax details. Say if a service is a complex one and we would like to break that into individual service tasks, at that time we can make use of this service task. If you wanted to add, you can click on this plus icon and add the individual service task over here. And then when I say job sheet, so for example, for a certain services, we wanted the technician to do some pre or post services activity, right? So for those, instead of like a form or a checklist, we can have a job sheet that we will be associating with that service, so that when the technician reaches the customer place, we will they have to complete this particular checklist before marking that appointment as closed or completed. So we can also do that. So this can be done. So now if you wanted to create a part, you have to click on this icon and click part. Then similarly as we have done for services, we have to add the part name, description, unit price, SKU, and tax details. So we have two options. One is like we can either manually create the service or part, or we can import it via CSV file as well. And if you have Zoho Books or Zoho Inventory, like you're already using those finance application, then we have a direct integration with Zoho Finance, so that all the parts and services can be synced dynamically over here. So if I click on any of the goods over here, you could see the name of the goods is here, the description, whether it's a good, whether it's a part or a service, followed by what is the unit price and what is the SKU number. Then on the left pane, you will be seeing the tax details, and then you could see here there is a book information, CRM information, and desk. So Zoho FSM has direct integration with Zoho Books, CRM, and desk. So as I mentioned, if there is any part or service in books, that those records can be synced, and we can directly link it over here. And then on the right pane, we have the timeline, which will show all the modification that has been done in this particular record. And then we have notes. If we have added any notes or attachment, that will be shown up here. In the little list, we can see the historical data, like if this particular part has been used in any of the assert, work order, or any of these modules, that will be shown up here. And now let's see any of the services. So maybe let's take, okay, so here in the services, we could see so we could see here, okay, so here we could see the name of the service, the description similar to the parts, whether it's a part or a service, the name. And here you could see who's the product owner. So whoever has created the product, then their name will be shown up here, followed by the tax details and the books, CRM, desk details. Similarly, we have timeline, notes, attachment, and the service task. This is what I mentioned. If a service is a complex one, we can break them down into service tasks as well. Similarly, in the little list, we can see for which work order on the or estimate we have used the service already. This is all about service and parts module. Next, let's see the customer management module. So under customer management module, we have two sub modules. One is contact and company. So when I say contact, when it's an individual type, we can create a contact alone. If it's a B2B, then we can create company and a contact. So let's see from contacts module. So similarly, in the contacts module, on the left pane, we have few filters criteria available, and we have certain default views which can also be customized. We can now create a customer a contact directly by clicking on the create icon. We can give them the basic information, email, phone, mobile, and we can also add the company, currency, etc. And then address. When I say address, it can be the service address and the billing address and the tax information. So we can either create the contact or we can import it as a CSV file. As I already mentioned, we have an integration with CRM. So we have an two-way sync from CRM to FSM, as well as from desk and books. We can also push all the customer data as well to here. So if I'm opening any of the customers here, we could see the customer basic information followed up with their company data, their address, tax information, etc. So here in the timeline, you could see not only the modification that has been done in the contact records, but also the any modifications, like if any request is created against this contact, any work order appointment, everything will be listed over here. And then we have a dashboard in the contacts module, which will show us the list of open request, estimate, work order, and appointment, also with overdue work orders, appointments, and invoices. And also it will show you the amount generated against this customer. So we could see there is an amount generated till far now is like 4,500. We can also filter this based on the time, like for today's, yesterday, this week, this month. We can also filter based on the timeline. And then we have address section where we can store more than one addresses, because a single contact might have purchased or like they might have different addresses where the services has to be performed. So we can store all the addresses in the addresses section. Then we have the written list, so we can see what are the historical request, estimate, work orders which has been completed or which is ongoing will be listed over here. Then under the billing section, we will be seeing the invoices that has been raised and the payment that has been received against that contact. Then let's see the company module. Similarly, for the company as well, we can click on this create button to create company. So let's see how the company looks like. It is similar to the contacts module. All the company information will be shown up here, followed by address, tax, and the books information. So you could see this particular record is being linked with books. That's why it's been highlighted in the green color. So when you click, it automatically takes us to the books record. Then we have CRM and desk. And then similarly, how we had a dashboard in the contacts module, we also have a dashboard in the company module. Similarly, like the open request, estimate, work order, followed by overdue work orders and appointments, and the amount generated. This is how company's module looks like. Then let's see the last core module, the assert module. So when I say assert, so this is a place where we can actually track the assert that we have sold to the customer. And also there is a scenario where the customer might have purchased the product from the third party, but we are the one who's doing the service. At that time, we can store the assert here in the assets module. We can track the data like the purchase order date, what is the warranty expiry. Those data can be stored over here. So we have to click on this create icon button to create an assert. So here, maybe we can open any one of the assert. Here you could see the name of the assert, what was the product it was sold, and the parent asset. So there is a scenario where a single site might have multiple assets. So it might be we can say a single site with multiple asserts. So if we have that kind of hierarchy here, so we can assign technician to those asserts individually. Instead of assigning to the parent asset, we can assign technician to each individual sites, and then followed by GIAI number, and then we have order date, purchase date, installation date, warranty expiry, followed by the company contact information and address section. This is how assets module look like. Now we have covered the core modules over here. Now let's see an end-to-end workflow of Zoho FSM. So let's take a scenario where a customer calls us and tells us about a leaky pipe. So in that case, it is kind of an emergency, right? So we have to first start with creating a request in FSM. So let's see how to create a request in FSM and how the process flows across FSM. Like you could see, first we have to create a request, then estimate, work order, and dispatch. So let's have a quick walkthrough of in FSM. So let me share my screen. So in the work order management module, we have 5 to 6 modules, which are like request, estimate, work order, appointment, etc. So in the request module, we can click on this create button to create a request. So let's say it's a leaky pipe, right? So we can give a name, summary, with the priority. Maybe it's kind of a high priority. We can set up a due date, maybe today's date itself. Then we have to add the company's name. Then once you select the company name, it will only show the list of contact associated. And once you select the contact, all the basic information like email, phone, mobile addresses will be auto populated. And if you have any existing asset, you can also link it over here, or you can leave it as it is not mandatory. And during the conversation, we might have asked the customer what is the preferred date. They might have told us today, and the second date might be 14. And we will also ask them what is the preferred time. If they say morning or any time, and any notes, if they have mentioned any notes, we can also add it here so that the technician can refer to that. And then when we click on save, it will take us to the request module. Here in the request, we can see the name, the summary of the request, followed by what is the status, what is the priority, and what is the due date. And then we have the contact, asset, and address information. So here you could see there is two options. One is we can directly convert this request into a work order, or we can convert it to an estimate. So I can explain the scenario. Like for example, if they are an existing customer and they are familiar with our pricing and they do not worry about the invoice amount and all, so in that case, we can directly convert it into a work order and assign the technician. But if they are a new customer, and or if they have requested for an estimate so that they can get the approval from their managers or the higher people, so in that case we can convert it to an estimate as well. We have other options like cancel, terminate, download, and print, right? So we here for now I'm converting this request as an estimate. When I click into it, automatically an estimate module opens up, and all the data that has updated, that I have added in the request module, will be mapped over here. And I can set up expiry date. So let's say 14. So after 14, it will automatically mark as expired. Then all data will be updated. And then I have to add the service line item. So here it's a leaky pipe. So we have a fixed service. And what part so should be taken. So let's add the sealant kit. Done. And then we can save. Once you save, it will route us to the estimate module. You could see this is estimate module with the status. Other data will be here. You could see the preview. So now we have to, next step is now we have to send this estimate to the customer to get their approval. So we have to click on the send estimate button. Here we can add the to email address. And here is the email template, which is customizable. So we can either select from the standard one or compose your own. So we can click standard one. And also if you wanted to attach your estimate as a PDF, we have certain templates, that is standard, spreadsheet, and premium. And definitely you can clone these template and customize your own templates by adding new fields as well. So for now I'm adding like standard template and save. And now I will be sending it to the customer. So as you see, when I click on send, automatically status changes from draft to waiting for approval. So here we can only move forward if we get an approval from the customer. So either the customer can approve it directly from the email, or if the manager calls them from our team, if the call agent calls them and gets the approval, we can also mark the estimate as approved manually from this drop down icon as well. Either they can approve or reject. So now I'm manually approving it. Automatically status get changed to approved. So now the next step is to convert to a work order and assign it to the technician. So I'm converting it to work order, and all the data from request as well as estimate will be populated over here. If you wanted to change anything, you can do that, or else you can click on save. So as I mentioned that if a service is a little bit complex one, we can break down them into service tasks. So here I have already added the service called leaky pipe inspection. As soon as I add them, the service task will also get added over here at the bottom. And here it will have the duration for each task, how much duration it will take to complete it. And now we can save it. As soon as we save it, it will route us to the work order module. In the work order module, we will be able to see the status, the priority and its service, etc. The work order details, contact details, assert. And now we have to we can either create one single appointment for this whole work order, or we can create multiple appointments. So it is based on the resources, or based on the skill set. We can segregate them based on that, like to many technicians. Like if in this case, let's see here, okay, this is the service line item and this is the task. So if you wanted to only create an appointment for these two tasks together, you can select that and you can assign it, and we can create another appointment for the rest of the service task as well. So in this case, I'm creating one single appointment for this whole work order. I'm selecting this, adding a summary type, and scheduling it for say 13th, and the timing, say 5:30, it's 8:30. And then I have to add the resources. For example, I'm adding the resource Saran Sandhya. Okay. So here I've added the multiple resources. So if I'm adding a multiple resources, I should assign a lead. So who will be leading this service? So in this case, I can select any one among them. Right. So you could see here we have two options. One is schedule and another is schedule and dispatch. So the difference is, if you click on schedule, this appointment will be saved but in a draft state. And so by saving it in draft, the technician like the Saran and the Sandhya will not be notified that appointment has been created. But if we click on schedule and dispatch, the technician will be notified. So here, let's say I'm just adding one resource for now. So here, why I'm adding Saran, like the resource Saran, is like I know that the person is available after 5:30, so I'm adding it. But in case if I'm unavailable, like I'm unaware of the technician's availability or the workload, I can do that more efficiently from the dispatch console. So I'm not doing it from here, but instead I'm doing it from the dispatch console. So as I say, dispatch console is like a task dashboard that helps us to schedule and dispatch the appointment based on their availability and their workload. So this is how the dispatch console looks like. It has two sections, one on the left and the right. So you could see, first let's look at on the left section. So here we have all the service appointment that we have created till far now. You could see the appointment number, the time, what is the status, whether it's been paid or not, who's the customer, company, etc. All will be shown up here, right? And for example, if I wanted to see if this particular appointment, where is this in the Gantt view? So I have to click on this graph chart. It will take me to that particular day where this has been appointed, this has been scheduled, right? So this is like, this has been dispatched over here. And now on the top we have few filters, like we can filter appointments based on appointment name, status, email, and we can also sort in ascending or descending as well. And we have two views, one is card view and table view. This is the card view and this is the table view. And we can also filter appointment based on the date as well. So here you could see most some of the appointments are like scheduled, right? So we haven't yet dispatched them. So if you wanted to dispatch a bulk appointment, so you have to click on this option where it says bulk dispatch log. When you click, it will show us the list of, just a minute, it will show us the list of appointments here. You can select any one of them or you can select both and bulk dispatch it. This is one way. Okay, and now you could see it is not only limited to show us appointment, but also it will show us the list of work orders. So when you click on this work order, it will show you the public few default views like all work orders, cancel work orders, closed, etc. So I'm clicking on all work orders. Similarly, you will be able to see the work orders, their data, like whether what is the status, who's the customer, what is the amount, company, etc. will be over here. And also in case of emergency, we do not have to go to the work order module to create a work order. Instead, you can click on this create button icon to create a work order directly from here. And also there is another feature like a template that we can set up at the back end. So in case in case of emergency, like in this case of leaky pipe, if I click on this template, it will automatically fill few data like the priority, the due date, emergency, and also we can also add the service parts and the services and the parts, so that in case of emergency we have to only add the name of the customer for whom this work order has been created. So this can be configured at the back end as well. So we can have n number of templates we wanted on each scenarios. Instead of like entering the data every time manually, we can store it at the back end and use it then and there. And now you could see here this on the right is the we have four views. One is Gantt view, grid view, map view, and calendar view. So when I say Gantt view, it will actually show you the availability of the technician, like how much they are available and what is their current workload. So on the left panel, you could see the list of field agents, and here you could see the list of appointments they are taking care, right? Here you could see there is a red line which shows the current date and time. So whatever is after, before this is the uh, past, and here we have the this day, like current day's data. So you could see there is actually different colors, green, blue, purple, right? So this signifies when I click on this green one, it shows the appointment has been completed, and this blue one shows the appointment has been scheduled. When we hover on it, it will show us more data about the appointment as well. And when you click on hover on this purple, it will show the appointment has been dispatched. So this all color coding can be customized on the back end. You can choose the color based on your requirement. And then you could see all these white spaces you could see are the available time for the agent. And at the bottom you could see there is a dark grayed out area. It means the technician is unavailable. And when you see you can also see the reason why they are unavailable, whether they are on leave or whether they are not part of this crew or not part of the strategy. You can see this will be grayed out. So now let's see, we have few advanced filter, like we can filter based on the technician type, whether we have to see only the crews, agent, equipment, based on the territory, based on the skills, etc. We can filter them. Then we have views for schedule, and just if we want to see live data, we can also click on live to see the live data alone. And then we have views for week and day. So because we created one work order for the leaky pipe, right? So instead of you directly dispatching from the appointment module, we can just drag and drop this to schedule to dispatch that. For example, now for today Friday, I could see Sandhya is available and Sid is on leave and Saran is already busy. So what I can do, I can drag and drop this under Sandhya's name, and it will automatically get scheduled and dispatched. Otherwise, there is one more option, is we can directly click on this white space click and then select the existing work order. And so example, I'm selecting this work order. I can directly schedule and dispatch from here. This is one option. Or else if I could just select the due hours, like for example, from here to here, if I wanted to schedule an appointment, I can just drag and drop. I need to select the work order. So my work order number is W051. Okay, so I can just select that and it will automatically pull the data, and you could see the resource that is taking Sandhya. So I can either schedule or schedule and dispatch. So I'm just clicking on schedule for now. So this will not trigger any notification to the technician. Okay, so here you could see I have created that schedule. Now I can either reassign or reschedule this appointment just by dragging and dropping it here, like to another technician, or we can reschedule to the next day. So we can do everything from here itself. Okay. So this is all about Gantt view, and next let's move into the grid view. So the grid view will showcase like overall workload of the technician. So you could see on the left we have the list of field edge agents, and then we can see the list of work done, of appointments that they have completed, which has been scheduled or overdue or dispatched. Based on the color coding here, we could see their workload for the entire week. So this is the data, and based on this, like this view will be mainly helpful for those dispatchers, like to see who is overloaded, and they can equally distribute work among the other technicians as well. So here we have the same advanced filter. We can use these to see the data, and then we have the view called schedule and live, and week, 4 days and day view will be there. And next is the map view. So this is a little bit interesting. Like since we are like our field technician goes to the field, we wanted to know where they are currently at, like what is the current location. So for that, we can use this map view. So in the map view, we can see the current location of the technicians, and there are 3 filters applied. Like we can so let's unselect work order and appoint service resources. You could see I have selected only service appointment, and you could see the list of appointments here. So when I hover on this, I could see more information about the appointment. If I click, it will open up a window. It will show me the details about the appointment and who is going to do it, and other service and parts, job sheet, time sheet will be shown up here. Similarly, if I select work order and select this, okay, I could see you could see the number 3. It means in a single site, 3 work orders like appointments has been scheduled. So when you click on it, it will show us the data over here. So what are the work orders? And now let's unselect work order and select service resources. So here you could see all the service resources technician we have, and if the service technician is using the mobile app and they have enabled the location tracking, then you can click on this location icon to view where is that the technician's current location is. You could see this is the technician, and when I click on view info, I could see the personal information, which territory that person belongs to, what are like what how the calendar looks like, what are the number of appointments they have for the month, etc. Everything will be we can see from directly from here. And then we have another option called view route. So when I click on this, I could see the list of appointments or the which has been scheduled or completed by the person on the particular date. So here I've set the date as current date. So it will show us the appointment that has been completed and which has been scheduled after this appointment. You could see everything from here. And also here you could see we have some advanced filter. Say I'm selecting work order and click on this. We can filter it either by a date or via other fields, like I'm now selecting it based on the status, right? So if I'm selecting the status new, save, it will show us all the work orders which is under the status new. So this, okay, so you could see here we have two, right? So as I know this particular technician is nearby that location, I can assign this technician with a new work order. So for assigning a work order to the technician, we do not have to go back and like do it from the work order management module. We can directly do it from here. So you have to click on command and click. You could see the work order gets open and you can quickly schedule an appointment for that particular technician. So you can do it. So you have to select the date and time. Okay. And I'm selecting the resource. Okay, I could see there is, I think that person already has an appointment, so I cannot schedule for that particular person. Maybe I can schedule it for other resources as well. Okay, so this is how we can schedule an appointment. So now the next is the calendar view. In the calendar view, you could see all the appointments we have created over the organization, like what are the appointments that has been completed, dispatched, which has been scheduled for the upcoming days. You could see the time off that the technician has took, what are the list of holidays, etc. that can be viewed from here. Okay, so this is all about dispatch console. Okay, now let's see how the Zoho FSM mobile apps looks like. Let me quickly share the presentation once again. Okay, so Zoho FSM mobile app is supported for both Android and iOS. So now I will be giving you a quick walkthrough of how Zoho FSM mobile apps looks like and how will be the if a technician uses the mobile app, how will be his or her day, like how he can use the mobile app efficiently. So I have a, maybe I can give you a walkthrough on that as well. Okay, as soon as we log into Zoho FSM mobile app, we'll be able to see the home dashboard. Under there, we'll be able to see the option called check-in. As soon as the technician clicks on check-in, it will start to mark their attendance as well as it will enable the live location. In the dashboard, we'll be able to see what are the upcoming service appointment, if there is any overdue service appointment, if there is an in-progress appointment, etc. will be there in the home dashboard. On the top right, it will show us the notification of any new appointment has been created. So let's take the appointment AP29. And once we click on the appointment, it will show us the detailed information about the appointment, like what is the appointment all about, like it's about a leaky kitchen sink, what is the type, when is the scheduled time, who has been assigned as resources, and who will be the lead in that service. And then we have option to start the work. So when we click on start work, it will help us to mark the timesheet entry. So it means like how much time a technician took to complete the service. Under more options, we will be able to have other options like to cancel the appointment, terminate, download, trim the appointment, reschedule the appointment as well. and then we have the timesheet entry, and then we have service address. This is the customer's place address. So when we start from the back office, we can click on view map. It will open the third party application like Google Map, and it will show us the direction to the customer place. And then we have the contact and the company information. So before starting from the back office, we can click on the call button, or just drop a message or email to the customer that's saying that we are on the way to the place. And we can see the list of assigned user, like say here Saran and Sid will be the assigned user, and which will be led by the service will be led by the agent called Saran. And then we have the work order information. When you click on the work order, we'll be able to see detailed information about the work order as well. And then on the top we have service and parts, which will show us the service line item along with parts. And if any skills are being required, it will also be shown up here. It will be helpful for the technician that before starting from the back office, they can get all the required parts from the warehouse to the customer place. And then we have the service task. So if in case the service is a complex one, and if it can be taken down into service tasks, and if each service task is being done by different resources, we can also assign those tasks to the respective resources as well. And then we have job sheet model. The job sheet is nothing but a checklist that the technician has to perform before or after the service. So since this is a minor one, then we do not have job sheet for this. And then we have a timesheet module followed by service report. Now let's see, let's assume that the technician is starting from the back office, and if they wanted to track the location and the time duration it took for them to travel from the office to the customer place, they have to click on this plus icon, click on start, and they can add any description as well from office. As soon as they reach the location, they can click on the stop icon that you could see on the screen, so that it will automatically track the time taken, that is the start time and the end time, and how much duration it took to complete to reach the location, and also the distance travel will be over here. As soon as they reach the location, they have to click on start work so that the timer gets switched on. So even they can click the start work for the entire appointment, or they can click on the service task and click start work for individual service task as well. So now let's see. Let me check the button start work for the entire appointment now. So as soon as I click on start work, the timesheet entry in the service timesheet entry module will be enabled, and also the status of this appointment will be marked from dispatch to in progress, that is you could see over here. And now, as soon as they begin the work, if they want to take any photos, or if they have to add any notes about what is the condition and how the leaky pipes looks like, they can click on this button and add a title, leaky pipe. And if they want to attach an attachment, they can either attach a photo, video, or record an audio and upload a photo from the gallery as well. So I'm just taking a pic right now using my mobile camera, and once it's done, you can also add more than one photo as well. Then you can attach the photo and then save. Once this is done, you can start the work. Okay, now this is done. Okay, as soon as the work is completed, or if the technician want to take a break, if they wanted, they can click on this pause button to pause the work and mark it as partially complete. And once they are back from the break, they can click on again start work, and they can complete they can do the work as. So now I'm just clicking on partial complete and marking this appointment as in progress. So as soon as I come back from the break and wanted to resume the work, I have to again click on this pause button. Again, it will start a new timesheet entry. Okay, now this is done. So now as soon as the work is complete, I have to click on the complete work button, and I can first complete the appointment alone. And now the next step will be we have to create a job service report, so that we can have give the customer what we have done, the summary of the work we have done, attach the attachment, photos that we have took. So let's click on this plus icon in the service report module, and we have our options like we can either use standard, premium, a spreadsheet, or there is a test template. We can also customize this template very well. We have to clone the existing template and add the necessary fields and information that we wanted to see in the service report template. Now I'm just choosing the standard template, It will have all information about the contact details, request details, service assert, service and parts, work order details, etc. will be there. And next, when you click on next, then the technician can add the summary of the task it was service it was done. They can add the signature, and if they want to attach the attachment that was taken during the service can also be added over here. So I'm attaching this attachment, and also this attachment we can also compress the ratios so that we can have space. So I'm just, if you wanted to add more than one photo, we can also change the compress ratio. Once this is done, then click on next, and then we can hand over the device to the customer so that they can add their feedback and give the rating to the technician, and then they can also add the signature by clicking on add button. And now if it's done, we can click on save and create. As soon as we click on save and create, the service report will be in the draft status. So you can see the status of the service report is draft. So if you wanted to share this with the customer, you can either click on this icon button to send this report as an email to the customer, or you can click on the three dots and you can either share it via WhatsApp or Telegram. And now I'm just marking this service report manually as mark as sent. Okay, once this is done, and if the if the technician has the permission to create an invoice against the service, they can very well do it from the work order module. Once they click on this work order, on the top we have the invoice module as well. So they have to click on this plus icon button, select the service or appointment for which the has to be raised, and now click on, if they want to change any data, they can do the invoice date. If they have to change the payment terms, etc., can be done, and then click on generate invoice. As soon as the invoice is created, it will be under the draft stage as well. So if you wanted to share this invoice to the customer, you could either click on this send email icon, and it will be sent to the customer via email. This template or this layout can be customizable either from Zoho Books or Zoho Invoice, and also the invoice template can also be customizable. And if say I'm just marking this as sent manually from here, mark as sent. Okay, and if the customer would like to wish to pay the payment via online, it can also be done. If the payment is done offline, then the technician can mark the invoice as they can record the payment manually and mark the status of the invoice as paid. So I'm now marking the, if the payment is done on the offline mode, I can add all the details, amount, if it is in the mode of payment is cash or bank transfer, etc. I'm saying it's cash. So once it is done, we can click on save. Okay, once all the data is updated, say check-in date, check-out date, room type, etc., based on the record. Now we can click on save to record the payment manually. So once it has been done, the automatically status of the invoice will be changed to paid. And now we could see on the left panel, we could see the options like home, dashboard, what are it will show us a list of service appointment, customer data, contact, company, assert data. Then we have the work order management, which contains of request, estimate work order, etc., and the billing. Definitely, these all options can be restricted by the admin to the technician view. So let's say if this is the last work for the technician, and they are leaving back to the office, then they can click on checkout, which will also mark the attendance and also disable the live location of the technician. So now this is how Zoho FSM mobile apps looks like. Okay, now let's see. As we have covered Zoho FSM mobile app, let's see the benefits of Zoho FSM. Okay, so when I say benefits, so the first benefit I see is like we can streamline the field operations more efficiently via this app. We can increase the productivity by enabling the technicians to complete their work on time. And if as we are giving them this mobile app, so we can see their live location, and the dispatcher can schedule the service appointment more efficiently. This also improves the customer experience, and if we can also manage our large team by giving them listings profile, and so that we have visibility across the organization and also stakeholders. So these are the benefits of Zoho FSM. And now let's see the industry evolution and the pricing trends. So as many of you might like have noticed that the market is steadily shifting away from the traditional license based model. It is actually growing preferences for the usage based model. So like the customers actually wishes to pay for what feature they have used, not for like not based on the license based. So Zoho FSM has already built with this approach itself. So the currently the billing model that FSM provides is based on the number of appointments that has been completed for a month on the yearly basis, we have to pay. So this is what I like about Zoho FSM. So with this, we have come to the end of the session, and now it's time for Q&A. Please drop your questions in the questions or in the chat so that me and Sangeeta can answer those questions to you. I could see Ramachandran has asked a question. Okay, Sangeeta has already answered that, and we have a question on the payment gateway. Yes, we cannot do that with FSM, but we can do it like if we have integrated with invoice and books, we can definitely do it from. We can definitely integrate those payment gateways into books, and since books gets integrated with FSM, we can record the payment. Like we can take online payment as well. So currently, customer portal feature is not available in Zoho FSM. So that's the question from Krishri. Okay, so I think there are no questions. If you have any questions, you can after the webinar you can write to us. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so after the webinar, if you have any other questions, you can write to us at sales@spikra.com, or you can directly visit our website where you can block a consultation slot with directly with me, so that I can give you an in-depth overview, or I can clarify all your questions over there. I hope like you might have got a clarity on what Zoho FSM can do. Okay. Thank you everyone once again for joining the session with me today. Have a nice day. Thank you.